The U.S.-Iran Truce talks are all set now for a second round. This is the breaking news that we're getting for you, with the White House now confirming renewed engagement with Iran. The White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt has in fact said that Iran has sought an in-person meeting, and Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will be expected to travel to Pakistan for the talks, while Vice President J.D. Vance will remain on standby in the United States. So that's the latest that we're hearing from the United States. This, in fact, is what Karoline Leavitt has just confirmed, the White House Press Secretary. Here's what she had to say just a short while earlier.
Times to all of you, always willing to give diplomacy a chance. So Steve and Jared will be heading to Pakistan tomorrow to hear the Iranians out. We hope progress will be made, and we hope that positive developments will come from this meeting, and we will see. And the President, the Vice President, the Secretary of State will be waiting here in the United States for updates, and the Vice President, I understand, is on standby and will be willing to dispatch to Pakistan if we feel it's a necessary use of his time.
Rishabh is joining us on the phone line to put this into perspective, viewers. Rishabh, there's been a flip-flop from both sides. We also saw how the U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance was expected to go to Pakistan earlier this week. That, of course, was then put on hold after Iran indicated that they are not interested in any conversations at the moment. But now it appears Iran is also looking forward to the second round of talks in Pakistan.
Well, Rohit, we need to understand something. What went wrong last time? The last time you had the, foreign minister of Iran, who virtually is running the international narrative, as well as the administration for the country, and the Speaker of the House, Gilbab, from Iran, and from American side you had Vice President J.D. Vance, which means that you had the top-level leadership sitting on the table without eyeing out any differences that were already visibly present on the table. And hence, there was no cushion left for both the sides to actually fall back and then get back on the table. This time around, both the sides are taking a very clear step that we will send our representatives, but will J.D. Vance will go? No. As of now, White House says that if they feel that this is necessary, then J.D. Vance will go. Kushner and Witkoff would be there for negotiation, which means that both the sides want that cushion so that they can again say that this is the thing you want. Let us get back to you after checking with Washington. Who is checking in Washington? It is J.D. Vance, because Donald Trump definitely is not someone that Iran wants to engage with right now. A. B. What we are given to understand, there are uncertainties. If J.D. Vance supposedly reach Pakistan and Iran says that no, we do not want to talk, then it would be an embarrassment for the office of the Vice President as well for United States, and that is something that White House right now wants to avoid.
Right, absolutely. So even the U.S. not being fully committal at this moment, while they are sending some of their envoys, of course, J.D. Vance will remain on standby, is what we're learning. But Rishabh, also give us some clarity on, what really can we expect as far as these talks are concerned, especially because we saw how the first round of talks had failed. And after that, of course, now, if both sides are indicating that some talks could take place, then certainly some sort of back-channel talks also would have happened, after which both sides are now indicating that they could be speaking.
Well, see, Rohit, we need to understand this is not a Cold War era where, the war can go on and on for years. From, Russia-Ukraine experience, U.S. do understand that, stretching this further would cost them dollars. Iran believe that stretching this forward would further isolate them on the global platform. And hence, both the sides want to have a middle path, but both the sides also want to ensure that they have a clarity when they go back to their domestic audience, and they have an edge to show. And that's the reason that these talks are happening. Otherwise, negotiations have been, dismissed on the word go itself. So as of now, both Iran and U.S. wants a peace deal, if not completely beneficial to them, but still they could show an edge to the domestic audience. So, what can we expect? There are certainly going to be various plans that will come in from Iran, various plans that will come in from United States as well. And what we are going to see on the table tomorrow is, a tug of war on the Strait of Hormuz, tug of war on basically the ballistic missile capabilities of Iran, and also what Iran suggests, that we need compensation for whatever losses we have incurred because of the invasion from U.S. and Israel.
Absolutely. So Iran is also seeking some compensation, and that is exactly why they had also tried to impose a toll on Hormuz so that they can make up for the damages that have been caused in this war by the United States. But stay on with us, Rishabh, because we're also learning that Donald Trump, in fact, himself, earlier today had admitted that there seems to be no end game in sight, even though now the negotiations could take place. There is no timeline or no clarity at the moment about when this war will end, even though the ceasefire currently is underway. Even as Trump maintained that Iran is militarily weakened, he refused to set a deadline, keeping pressure on Iran and also leaving military operations open. In the latest, Trump also struck a defiant tone on Iran as he claimed that he was in no hurry to reach a peace deal. Now, this comes just hours after he said that there is no time frame for ending the war with Iran, and Trump has often also been criticized for his chaotic and often contradictory comments, and once again, his recent statement is being seen as a departure from his initial statement, wherein he said that the war might only last up to 4 to 6 weeks. He said this on March 2nd, 3 days after the war had started, and now nearly 2 months later, Trump cited Vietnam War, which lasted for 20 years, and vowed that he is in no rush when it comes to Iran.
Say to the American people who question how much longer this will take, obviously, you know that they are having
You're such a disgrace. Did you hear what I just said? Vietnam. How many years was Vietnam?
I understand, sir.
How many years was Vietnam? Well, I did my end. I took the country out militarily in the first 4 weeks. I took it out militarily. Now all we're doing is sitting back and seeing what deal. And if they don't want to make a deal, then I'll finish it up militarily with the other 25% of the targets. We've hit 78% of the targets that we've wanted to hit. We've knocked out their manufacturing. We've knocked out their missile production. We've knocked out their drone production. We've knocked out everything. In some cases, when I say knocked it out, 70, 80, 90%. It's amazing what we've done. So I've done that within that period of time that I mentioned, but I don't want to rush myself, because every story says, oh, Trump is under time pressure. I'm not. No. You know who's under time pressure? They are.
If you need more time, does that mean Americans should anticipate spending more on gasoline for the foreseeable future?
For a little while. And you know what they get for that? You know what they get for that? Iran without a nuclear weapon that's going to try and blow up one of our cities or blow up the entire Middle East. You want to see what shock would be? And I have to be honest, the stock market is at an all-time high right now. I thought it would have been down 20, 25%. When we hit, wait a minute, wait, can I finish my question, wise guy? Stock market's at an all-time high right now. I projected, and I'm pretty good at this, that the stock market, Howard, would drop maybe 20%, 25%. And I understood that. And I said, hey, it's a bad thing, but I have to do what's right for the country, even the world, because you can't have them, you cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. So, the stock market, unlike what a lot of people were predicting, I thought they weren't necessarily wrong. And the stock market today hit an all-time high. Hit an all-time high yesterday, the day before, and it's staying there. I thought oil would go up to maybe $200 a barrel, and oil is at a different number than anyone thought. In fact, this country is much slower because we have all the oil we can use. We're actually, ships are coming from all over the world to Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska. They're coming from all over the world to get oil from the United States, while this is closed, the Hormuz Strait. So